welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
And remember, our goal is always to guide you to personal and financial wellness.
Welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. Happy Saturday again. Hopefully you heard the first segment about what's really happening in the real estate market today, because the media, well, it's not politics, finally. If I see one more commercial about politics, I'm going to shoot myself.
I bet you we'll still be getting postcards for the next 6 weeks or so.
And they'll be back.
As you're back.
Yes.
If you recognize that voice, we're really excited. We were teeing it up on the last segment that we had Jim Reape with Reape Rickett Law Firm, the #1 divorce attorney in town. My divorce attorney, I'm just going to throw it out there, who took great care of me, so I can speak from it, because we have that great group of professionals called America's Professional Resource Group, which is, we feel, the best, financial planner, insurance planners, estate planners, college planners, you name it, we put them in one group called America's Professional Resource Group. You can find that at aprgi.com. That's aprgi.com, which is short for America's Professional Resource Group, Inc.
All right.
And Jim is part of that.
That was a mouthful.
Well, the whole point of that was, I was going to say, for like 6 years, whatever, we talked about, we use all of these. I use all of them except for one.
Yeah.
I can't say that.
You did that, yeah.
I always said, I hope I don't have to use the one. But
well, it's interesting. He brings up a point, is that, it's our life team. It's the people in our life that we use, that we feel are the best. And we met them all mostly through the radio show, quite honestly.
Wow. Okay.
So
it reminds me, there's this photograph of the strip mall, and the signage there is liquor, liquor store, bankruptcy, and divorce. And I'd always say, if you're a patron of any two, you will be a patron of
number
the third.
3.
You should friend Jim Reape on Facebook, because these type of quips come on his Facebook all the time. I love watching. I'm like, what is he posting now? Pretty clever little quips and stuff.
Thank you.
Fun. And that's a perfect example of, a lot of people like, I hate attorneys, or I don't want to talk to an attorney, but you're a good dude. I mean, we're now friends. We hang out together. You were just part of our huge Oktoberfest.
Thank you.
That was fun,
It was
huh?
fun, a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we had Gino and Kevin growing up, 200 brats and Polish sausage and
It was a really good
pork.
time. We can't help ourselves. Anytime that we get an opportunity to cook, we want to make sure to get on that grill.
Did you this dude with his outfit, at first I'm taken back. I'm like, which direction is that dude's head?
Going, yeah.
And you go, well, I needed somebody to hold me up all night long. It was an Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
You can actually check out Skyline Home Loans Facebook page. You'll see a lot of great pictures on any of our Facebook page. But yeah, it was a good time. And,
very good time.
And it was fun watching, because you realize why Kevin and Gino like grilling. Yeah. One for me, one for you. One for me, one for you.
They're good at it. They're good at it. No complaints from the consumer.
All right. Well, speaking of consumer, I know it's early, but let's start pitching it now. I do have a tentative date for the barbecue contest next year already.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, April 27th. And so Steve Korn and Jim are back. Yeah, they said they can't let me win a third year in a row without competing. So
you say, well, the gauntlet has been tossed.
It has, and so I'm always really sensitive to what are we cooking, because they always want to do tri-tip.
I don't know how they.
Like,
you're going to change it up?
Oh yeah, so
because they can't compete with your tri-tip.
So now they didn't like that, right?
Figured that out.
At first they said, "Oh, he doesn't know how to do tri-tip. Let's do tri-tip." I figured that out.
You so did, and I'm not even. I'm biased, obviously, but I'm like, we got to try 9 different styles.
You got to practice.
We went to his house. It was a rough day.
Yeah.
Just 9 different rubs.
9 different rubs and different cooking times and a bunch of different stuff till we selected what was the best.
And we pretty much landed on the same one.
Right.
Yeah, and the one was just, are you kidding me?
And so now I think they're making a critical mistake. They said, no holds barred. Pick any animal, any part of animal, anything you want.
That's smart.
For me, that's fantastic.
I don't know, for anybody. Somebody might say, oh, I have this special recipe. Yeah. Because some people don't know how to cook tri-tip. That wasn't your cup of tea.
It wasn't.
For
I had
a while.
To practice, yeah.
First
year, I lost the first year.
It
was horrible.
Yeah, it was
Let's be truthful. It wasn't good at all.
It was Steve kicked you about that year, but you came back with a vengeance.
There you go.
So,
Side note, sorry about that.
No, it's
no,
okay. What's
we're
cool
cool.
is this is stuff, and we love that you're part of this stuff too, Jim. And you guys give back, we give back. We do, I don't know, must be 10 different charity events every single year. We have, in March, we're doing the chili cook-off. We're one of the top sponsors
Always do
for
that
the chili
one.
cook-off.
Haven't been able to dominate that.
No,
Just,
not yet.
no, we haven't won any
No.
awards. We keep trying, but that's like 40 contestants. That's tough.
That is tough, and there's a lot of popularity involved in that and stuff, and we need to become more popular.
I guess so.
Okay, so we brought Jim here for a reason other than chit chat, and you can tell it's a real live show. This is not an infomercial, and you can see us live by going to donandgino.com, click on the live streaming button, and voila, you'll see us. Actually, you'll see a lot of live streaming stuff from our events. We're starting. Furman's done a great job. He now shows up at our big
On
events.
location, yeah.
On location, we did the Trike Derby,
Yep.
which is another charity event. You watch a bunch of grown adults racing in costume, racing trikes. That is
Love it.
hilarious.
Love it.
And,
Skyline
and
number
drinking
2.
beers in between.
And drinking beers. And boy, the last runs were tougher, weren't they?
I'm sure.
Second place for Skyline. Then we did our Oktoberfest. So check it out. So Jim was always brings you. I know how you come up with new topics about divorce, but I guess that's because that's
He
what you
lives
do.
it.
Yeah.
And you have 2 new topics that we have not talked about, and you've been on the show 24 times at least.
Yeah.
So, how can they get you have a great website and a digest that gives a lot of great information.
Well, yeah, it's called divorcedigest.com.
There you
so
go.
that is the firm's website, and it's got all the information about the firm. It has pushing about 200 different articles that have been written. So it's a really good research tool.
It is. You forwarded some of that to me. We're like, oh, well, how about
Exactly.
this? How about this? You're like, here's some articles we wrote.
I believe information should be free. Now, my analysis and that kind of stuff, that's what I charge for. But to get somebody up to speed, the more educated they are on the topic, the better, because then we can focus our discussions.
And on that note about what you get paid or a real professional gets paid, one thing we have learned, Gino and I, being on this show, talking to people who've chosen their professionals based on price, usually, not always, but I mean, it's got to be fair, obviously, but a lot of times when you try to, I don't know, go cheap, you end up paying.
My God.
With the mistakes? Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
You don't get the true advice. How motivated are they? How dedicated are they? How educated are they? How experienced are they? All those things come into play to where you're now a valuable resource for me for life. I've taught you, 9 times after it because just like a home, when you do a home loan, it doesn't end. You still own the home.
Well, it doesn't end if you're working with professionals. If you're transactional, it ends.
That's true. If you're going online,
That's right. You go online, you
back
call
to-
an
try to
online lender, get a loan.
Try to
and-
call Bulb. Hey, my name is Bulb.
Anyways.
Seriously. Well, that's where they're going when you call.
Actually, some of them are in Michigan. But they just don't have the experience. They just don't have 10, 15 years of experience. So it's lending a la carte. They go and get really basic information, just enough to get a license. And do you think that just because someone gets a license, is that enough to have experience and practice law?
Yeah, you pass the bar, you're ready to go.
Yeah, that's it. Done
Well,
deal.
I mean, the reality is no. Okay, so, there's a common rule, 10,000 hours.
Yep.
You need 10,000 hours of whatever it is that you're doing to start to, master it. And in law, it's no different. So you spend 3 years full-time, around the clock, studying basic type of legal concepts. So now you have an understanding of some of the common body of law, certainly not the entirety of all the legislation that's out there and all the case law that's out there. And then it's when you get into practice that you start to see how it gets put together. Because you get real people, real problems,
Real
and
judges.
they're not like these law school hypotheticals. It's like, oh my goodness, how people are wonderful. You think made up stuff is cool.
It's very Jerry Springer at times.
It is. It absolutely is. Like solve this, and then
Solve this.
you have to weave through. And then one of the things that I liked, I spent my first 10 years in the courtroom doing jury trials. I was a civil trial lawyer, not just family law, but all over the place, business litigation, suing you guys, anybody I could sue.
Boy, they were easy for
Lenders are good targets.
Absolutely. And
For the same
next
reason
thing
we
you know-
discussed, because most of them are not smart.
Right. Yeah. No, we would get. There was the time was it the no doc loan or something like that, and then it gets sold on the market as they usually do, and then somebody does an audit, and the loan's current, but they call the loan. Because like you can't qualify for this loan, but I'm current. No, well, no, we're accelerating. We're going to default on you.
Oh wow!
And people don't realize that when you
cheat,
if you commit fraud on a loan application, and they catch it, they can call the note due. People don't understand that. There's a clause that you sign that says that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then there's another one that says if you commit fraud, FBI can be brought into it.
That's right.
Absolutely.
You know how many times we've had to show that sheet?
Yeah.
We show that sheet to people because they come in with these outlandish ideas of how we should do their loan.
Or how the other lender told them how they can do the loan.
Yeah, that's not
just
okay.
save a quarter point or something like that.
For $62 a month, you don't
look
want
over
to
your
sleep
shoulder,
at night?
right?
Yeah.
No, in later 80s, I think it was, at least I'd have one of those come in once a week to a general civil litigation firm. I mean, it was really heavy. A lot of lenders were going through the audit process and just calling all of these loans.
Yeah.
Wow.
Luckily, we didn't have to deal with that. I've done this for 31 years and never had to deal with that.
That's
I'm not even
wonderful.
knock on wood because we do it right. I just stay out of trouble. I do it right. And the key thing is, and maybe we touch a little bit on it before we go into your topics, is the difference of having your customer's best interest in mind changes everything.
Absolutely.
And you're going to hear more about that when we come back to the second half of the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. Great stuff with Jim Reape with Reape Rickett. Don and Gino will be back. Don't go away.